to this week's episode of the program. Education Update has been put together to inform you of the activities and events that are happening in the education sector. I am Lulu Bankon. On the program today, we shall be taking a look at academic challenges confronting the visually impaired using FCT School for the Blind as a case study. Blindness is a lack of vision. It may also refer to a loss of vision that cannot be corrected with glasses or contact lenses. The most common causes of blindness in older adults are retinal disorders, followed by cataract and glaucoma. In school children, the most common cause of visual impairment is uncorrected refractive error. It is estimated that in almost half of the children who are blind today, the underlying factor could have been prevented or the eye condition treated to preserve vision or restore sight. A visit to FCT School for the Blind in Jabi showed quite a number of impaired students in their various classrooms trying to master the act of brailing. They were answering questions from their visually impaired teachers who are also graduates in different fields.
Have you written that? You have written that?
Yes, sir.
So what did you say last time? You said that the blood has components like number one, what did you say? Red blood was red. So right, number one. Another line. Red blood cells. Number one, red blood cells. CELLS cells. Red blood cells. Semicolon. Red blood cells. Can you bring out where you wrote about it the other time?
Yes.
You can bring it out?
Yes.
Okay, now. What is the function of the red blood cells? Yes. Sit down. Answer.
Me.
Yes. Asamoah.
This is responsible for growth and placement of blood cells.
Yes. This is.
Should you write?
Yes, you should write. You have put semicolon before, right?
Yes.
This is responsible. RESPON. Moses, you are writing. RESPONSIBLE. Responsible. For growth. For growth. GROWTH. Mosiru. You are writing, right? This is responsible for growth. And replacement of lost cells. Asamoah, that is what you said, right? Replacement, REPLA. REPLACE MENT contraction. MENT. And replacement of lost cells. lost cells, CE, double LS. We have discussed now one of the components of the blood. Is that also?
Yes.
Then what's the second component?
White blood cells.
What?
White blood cells.
White blood cells. So another line, number 2. White blood cells. Semicolon. Everything that WHITE, white, and blood. Are you all ready? Yes. Don't write anything again. What is the function of the white blood cells? Abraham.
Yes, sir.
You have it there.
This is
Sit down.
replacement. This is replacement of guiding the body.
Abraham.
Yes, sir.
You are not with your book.
It's with me.
It's not with
This is responsible.
you. You've started now. Yes.
This is responsible for guiding the body from disease.
That is why we are revising. You are not right. No. Tama,
Sir?
let me see what you wrote. What is the function of the white blood cell? Tama, sit down.
How is I'm saying the body?
Where was it bred? Tama,
Sir?
did you see where you bred it? Maria, did you see where you bred it? Eh? Put your hands on the dots. What is the function?
This is responsible.
Speak out.
This is responsible for. Uncle, I don't know the pronunciation.
You don't know the pronunciation. You spell it.
D E F
D-E-F-E-N.
F-E-N and D-I-N-G.
What did she spell? What did she spell? Okay, continue.
This is responsible for defending the body.
This is responsible for defending what?
The body.
Did you copy it?
Yes.
Okay, put your hand on your paper.
The body moves.
Tell me what you copy as a whole. This is responsible for. Speak out.
This is responsible for defending the body
from diseases. Can you hear her?
Tables. Read it. Yes.
They put their exercise books, and their pencils on the tables.
Good. That is how I want you to write it. Read it. And then pass it round. It must go till it gets to the front. I want everyone to see how it is written, because you will write same for me. Read it. You see, everything is in plural. She becomes they. Her becomes there. exercise book becomes exercise books. Pencil becomes pencils. Table becomes tables. Move it, pass it now. Move. To the next person. Everyone has to see it. Read it and you can pass it to someone else. Pass it to another person. Have you read it? Pass it to the next person. Down by you or in front of you. You can start walking to where I am. Who is reading it now? Huh? Okay. Joy. Did you see everything there? Plural. You saw it? I'm going to go down to someone else. Have you left your table? Move. While we are passing it round, let us continue. I went down the valley. Honest. I went down the valley. Plural.
Went down the valley.
We went down the valley. I want the spelling on that valley. I want the spelling. That's plural word. V-A-L-L-E-Y. Can we clap for him?
At the rehabilitation class, the students told ITV Education Update their stories.
I have eye problem. I have retinal detachment. After my retinal detachment, then I noticed that I was having, I developed, what do you call it? Yes, there was cloudy something on my eyes. Then the doctor told me I'm having, I've forgotten the name. Yes. So after that, I stayed at home thinking that I would get better because I was in the University of Benin. I was going to 200 level, civil engineering. So I stayed at home from 2010, March 2010. Then after staying at home for 2 years, I noticed that I was wasting a lot of years at home. So I decided to come. I was told that I can learn Braille. I was about going to Lagos when I later discovered that there's a school like this. I am seeing. I can see, but I can't read print. But I can't see very far. I see somebody, but the face look cloudy, but I can see the person, and I can walk around myself. Like in the day, in the night, I have a problem with light, flashing on my eyes. But in the day, I can move on my own. they haven't given up on me. He just said that in order not to just stay at home, not doing anything, feeling very idle, so I should just like maybe come and learn some, get busy, learn something, because we don't know what's going to happen, so that I will not just waste, because I wasted two whole years at home, so he doesn't want that to happen. I should just learn something, so I decided to come here and learn. Being big and being among the little ones, someone that I've been in the university, it's not really easy for me, so I just have to cope, hoping that when I'm through with my brain and everything, I can go back to my school.
Actually, I was diagnosed of retinal detachment in 2010. So my doctor advised me to start School of the Blind, actually, to learn Braille, because I've already done surgery for the eye. So that is why I'm here. Well, it's inspiring anyway, seeing those blind children going on their own, even though there have been some challenges, but I've learned to cope with. I was about going to SS3. So
I just finished my primary school on July 27th this year.
So what happened?
It started right from birth. So we went for all manner of tests. They said they have nothing to do, but instead they have an option. They don't have any option but to leave me so that I'll go blind. But somehow it had been God that had been keeping these eyes. I can see, I can do anything on my own. When I left primary school, it's like there was no hope. Which school do we go? This and that. Somehow, before I left, this information came to us. We started preparing ourselves. So around 2nd of last month, I came in here, and it has been helping me. Even when I'm in sighted school, nobody will have time to read and write for another. But this place has been really helping me to read on my own and to write.
My mom told me that since she gave birth to me, that's when I have this eye problem. And she would take me to eye center, take me to general hospital, and they would tell her that there's nothing they can do, all this surgery. Then my mom said that she can't take me to surgery because maybe when they take me, they will spoil the eye more. So then one woman living near, she knew about this place. Then she told my mom that they should bring me here. Then my mom brought me. It has helped me a lot.
The teachers enumerated the challenges facing the school to include lack of inadequate hostel accommodation, among others.
Well, I lost my sight as an adult, although the ailment has been ongoing because it is a juvenile onset glaucoma. But it finally dwindled out as an adult. Really, I read accounting as a normal person, and when I lost the sight, I have to go for sight rehabilitation, where I was put through in the reading and writing of Braille. Then I went for my postgraduate diploma in education at the University of Abuja to have my proficiency in teaching, in education, to be relevant in the class. We have no enough Braille machines. Only a child is Brailling with the machine out of about 12 of them seated in the class. The rest are using manual slates and stylus. So it makes the teaching not as fast as it's supposed to be. Remember, we are practicing individual education programming here. What do I mean? You have to follow the pace of each of the children. Each child has his own specific problem, because disability is like that. Some are blind and they have some limitation with even studying. So you have to follow it up. Now, coupled with the fact that there is not enough study materials, like that Braille machine, there are other facilities like this I'm holding in the hand. This is called recorder. The children are supposed to have it one by one, of which after teaching, they will go to their various hostels and retrieve and revise what I have taught them. While they are listening to it also, they will also read their braille, what they have brailled in the class. Yeah, it makes, because they are not sighted, so this will aid them to study faster, and their retention memory will be also awakened. They use this braille machine in the class because we have been taught how to read and write braille, and we cannot read prints, you know what I mean? So this machine gives us the opportunity to type whatever we want to type into a braille paper. This is braille paper. You can see the dots now. All these things have meaning. So all we have been talking before you came are here. So the student will go home and read them. But during the exam, if it is an exam that a sighted person will mark, they will now use the normal typewriter to write the ones that a normal sighted person will read.
I read education, and I have to put it into practice. And that is how I find myself teaching. My challenges are that we don't have enough text in braille. You can see even in the class, many of them don't have the book. So they have to do more of listening. And when the teacher is not there, they pass it round. When this one is not reading, the other one picks it. Whereas it's supposed to be a book per child, just like in any other normal setting. But it is not, it's not as if the books are not there, but they are not in braille. And even if you have the whole library full of print books, it means nothing to the blind pupils, because they cannot read those print materials. So we don't have enough text in braille. That's the major challenge I am having with the children here. The government can come in to help by making sure these materials are in quantum, you know, because you can see they are not things you can pick on the shelf. You know, we don't use exercise books. You just saw when I put in a sheet of paper to braille. That sheet of paper goes for 3,000 naira a ream. And we can finish 2 reams in a day in this school. You see, if you give us exercise books, we won't be able to use it. But if you give us reams of braille paper, we will enjoy it. Then you saw that braille machine that I used, and their children are even still using it. It's very expensive, you know. So if they can make provision of it, that is the Perkins braille machine, we will enjoy it. So after now, they go into the regular secondary school. By then, you should be able to equip them with a typewriter, this mobility cane guide, maybe a braille machine, and then they fit into any school using the mobility cane and having a formal orientation of your environment. They move around. Even if you film them around this school, you see all of them are moving alone, from the classrooms to the administrative settings, to the library, to the hostels, to any part of the school. That is the first thing you are taught, to use your mobility cane.
Okay, so how does this cane work?
It works because when you use it, it must be in front of you, okay, and it will spot any barrier. Like now, if I were to move ahead, assuming I don't have a formal orientation of the place, I would have known that there is a barrier here, and then I will go to where it is straight. I will now follow where it is straight and keep walking. So the aim is to locate barriers. Like now I know there's something here, probably there's another here. So I now know that between here and here, this is the free place that I can walk through. That is how the game works.
The head teacher of the school, Mrs. Regina Dong, sheds more light on the challenges facing the school.
My experience has been wonderful, but I am also faced with some challenges. It is quite interesting to work with the visually impaired children because I have interest in working with children, and especially the visually impaired. It has been hectic, but with that interest, it has been easy but with other challenges. Some of the challenges are that the learning materials of these children, you cannot easily come by them, and they are costly too. You know, they are not normal materials like those of the regular children. That maybe the regular ones you can just go to the shelves and buy. But with these special materials, we have to place order either from Lagos or from Jos, where they are being sold. To help them is to give them that quality education. Equip them with the materials to learn. Because if the materials are not there, they cannot learn. Remember, they are visually impaired and they really need to have the physical materials to teach them. Like if you equip them with the textbooks or with their, like the braille machines or the braille embosser, they can go to any length. One of the biggest challenges is there is no accommodation for teachers. As you can see, they are building the 3 apartments there, but they are not yet completed. That even if they are completed, they are not just enough to the number of children we have. We have about 120 children and then only 4 housing units, which is inadequate. So if government can build more houses to accommodate the teachers, because what we do here is not just, we give the children total education, which means that you have to be there 24 hours, if not. Some of the parents find this place as an avenue to abandon their children. Most of the parents, their attitude is negative. You know, like when they bring these children to school, they find it very difficult to come and pick the children. That you discover that some of the children will stay here for 3-4 weeks. They are still in the school compound. The parents have not come to pick them.
Well, that is the much we can take on this episode of the program. We have seen and we have heard the challenges confronting the visually impaired in the learning environment, and we hope that relevant government agencies, well-spirited individuals and organizations will put materials in place to come to the aid of the visually impaired. Until I come your way again, same time, same station, do have a wonderful day ahead.